Hey guys, what's going on? It's Salvage here, and today we're going to be talking about the Arkham games. Yes, I want to talk about this game and all these games once again. I kind of want to refresh my memory on some of them because I will be making some videos on them. And today we're going to be talking about the biggest misses from those games, the worst decisions that they made, some of the stupidest things. We're going to be working backwards from Arkham Knight back to Arkham Asylum, and I'm going to be giving some of them, like not a bunch, maybe two per game, maybe one for some of them, but for most of them, it's just going to be little tidbits and little nitpicks. But genuinely, I want to know what you guys think. What are the biggest or worst decisions that they made in the Arkham games, the biggest misses that they ever had in the Arkham games from all the games? Go ahead and give me a good list. I want to know at least one from each game from all of you. So go ahead and tell me in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you guys like this video. If you guys like these types of videos, I'm going to be trying to make more of them. It's very, very fun. And it's also something that I love to do. So go ahead and give it a like. So let's start off. Number one, I think it's going to actually surprise a lot of people. It's from Arkham Knight. I think that Joker being in Arkham Knight was a big miss. You know, they had an opportunity to completely negate Joker from the story, and they did that in the beginning where they cremated him, and they could have just kept him off and left him in the game, or left him out of the game the entire game. Maybe if he was in there like once, that would have been really cool, really awesome, like, you know, callback to Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. But he was in the entire game. He was like the main antagonist. He was there more than Scarecrow in Arkham Knight. So, you know, I think that him not being in the game was kind of a stupid decision, and something that I think if Paul Dini was in control of Arkham Knight, or at least writing Arkham Knight and starting that little script, that he would not have been in the game at all. Like, Joker would have been not only dead, like, you know, Arkham Knight developers were saying when they were promoting the game, not only would have been dead, he would have been completely, like, out of the game completely if Paul Dini was involved. But unfortunately, Sefton Hill was the one writing it with another co-writer, and they, of course, brought in that Joker plot line that makes no sense. But, you know, I think that it was a fun addition. It was great, right? Awesome to see him. But it definitely could have been better if they kind of played upon the fact that Joker is completely gone from this universe. But of course, it just plays in Batman's mind. Even though it's a complete plot hole, it doesn't make any sense. Joker's blood should be killing Batman, not making him see and after hallucination. It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I don't want to get into it. The other thing I don't want to really get into much is the Arkham Knight being Jason Todd. Like, they could have easily just done Red Hood from the beginning, and I think most fans would have been genuinely more excited that he was Red Hood than Arkham Knight. And I think the only reason why they even really did that was to have Arkham in the title, because what else are you going to call this game? I mean, what else are you really going to call this game if it isn't for Arkham Knight being, you know, Arkham Knight? It just doesn't make sense. But I just genuinely think that the way they did it was good. You know, they could have definitely played upon Jason being taken in between, you know, Asylum or before Asylum, and then Tim being there after Asylum, being there for City and whatnot. That could have been a very fun aspect, or Jason being taken, and that whole concept in the context of Batman going after Joker in the Asylum while Jason is still in there. That's like a big thing too. Like, I like that. But Arkham Knight being Jason Todd, or just Jason Todd being the Arkham Knight, is so stupid because it's just Red Hood with a slightly different backstory. And it's just, that's such a stupid cop-out for what they were claiming this character was, which was an original character. It's not an original character. It's an original persona for an already existing character. That's like, again, calling Robin the boy wonder and like making the logo B, or like whatever they did with Robin recently where they made him a new character. No, he's just a new persona. You know what I mean? There's nothing new about this. It's just Red Hood in the Arkham Knight suit. It's stupid. So I genuinely wish they didn't do that, but you know, it happened, and you know, it could have been a lot worse. So fortunately it wasn't, but you know, it definitely could have been a lot better as well. And the next one is for Arkham Origins. I think Arkham Origins is not having a sequel, them focusing on Gotham Knights, or focusing on, you know, the Damian Wayne Arkham Knight sequel game. Like, those were such stupid decisions with NWB Montreal's playbook. Like, why didn't they just focus on one sequel for Arkham Origins and then a original DC game like Gotham Knights that they wanted to do? I feel like if they wanted to actually keep continuing the Arkhamverse, the Arkham Origins canon, is there for them. They had Batgirl, they had Robin already set up for them. They could have had a very interesting aspect on how to build those characters within this universe. They could have also played upon Batman being that type of adoptive father for Dick Grayson. They could have done a ton of things, introduced the Court of Owls and stuff like that. They could have already done that like before Gotham Knights was even a thing. And it's like there's so many things they could have done for Arkham Origins sequel that didn't get done that I wish they did. And it's very unfortunate that they didn't go and try to expand that world with like Roger Craig Smith and all those other characters and the voice cast that they brought along, like Troy Baker being the Joker and stuff like that. That would have been amazing to see. That would have been so fun to continue. But unfortunately, they decided to go and do this little snowball of games that just never really got anywhere. And then now around Gotham Knights, where, you know, it's been a big kind of weird thing where they're not communicating to us certain things, and now it's finally coming out in 5 months and we still don't even have certain character gameplay. It's stupid. I wish Arkham Origins got a sequel. And another thing that Arkham Origins should have had is better bosses. I think the best boss we got was maybe the Bane stealth one at the end, and also Deathstroke, right? But a lot of these boss battles are just reskins of previous boss battles that we gotten. Like Deathstroke's just Ra's al Ghul, Firefly is literally just Poison Ivy. You have other characters like Killer Croc just being like, another giant like brute character that throws shit at you and runs at you. It's like, we've already seen a bajillion of these before. There's nothing really interesting within these boss battles, and I wish that they kind of had more time to flesh out these characters in these boss battles, because there probably would have been very, very well done and very good boss battles, very memorable boss battles. And even another thing is that Deadshot, Lady Shiva, like Electrocutioner gets hit with one shot, but besides like Electrocutioner, like Lady Shiva and Deadshot, and I'm pretty sure I'm skipping another character that I'm missing. Those are like side characters or side missions that you have to do on the side. They're not even main story characters, so why even mention them if like 80% of these players are not even going to freaking touch these characters or even interact with these characters, because they're not going to run through it within the game. You know what I mean? I think it would have been a lot better to have those characters be a part of the story, more associated with the other assassins, and all these assassins maybe trying to work together sometimes, or maybe even try to compete sometimes against killing Batman. Like, there's a lot that could have been done with those assassins and the bosses all together, and I wish they would have done that. Now, Arkham City is something that I am very biased towards, because I think it's the best Arkham game. There's a lot that I think went very well with that game in terms of development, and there's not a lot that I think went wrong. In terms of the story, if I were to have to give something docked points, right, it's the Ra's al Ghul twist at the end. It could have been done a lot better. I think that Hugo Strange could have been the strength behind it, but of course he wasn't. It was really Ra's al Ghul who was the real strength behind it. Hugo Strange, who was the real, mastermind behind it. And unfortunately, there was like this contrast where Ra's al Ghul just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and he's the guy in charge, even though you already beat him already in the game before. Like 3 hours before that event happened where it turns out he was in charge. Like, you already beat him in most of his forces, so why does it even matter? Like, that's probably like the biggest complaint about Arkham City that I would have. Maybe them also stretching out the Joker and the Hugo Strange plot lines and not really connecting them too much. Like, they only connected them like maybe once or twice. But like Hugo Strange and Joker are really just their own villains, and I guess that's cool. But it just kind of like takes you out of one storyline, then takes you into another one, then takes you out of that one, then throws you into another one. It's like, which one are you trying to fight at once? It's awesome for Batman, right? I get it, but also it's kind of just disorienting for the player because they're not used to that. An honorable mention miss isn't really games, but it's like, okay, there are some side games like Blackgate. Those aren't good. I'm sorry. No, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to the people that worked on them, but they're just not the best. Like the Arkham City Wii edition or whatever, that had like Kano in it or some shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even want to get into those. Like, those are so bad that I don't even want to talk about them. Some of the comics, they're okay, right? They're okay, but a lot of them are really bad, and a lot of them kind of contradict the other games, kind of like how the side games do, how they just contradict each other. It's like, we don't need the comics, we don't need those side games. We really didn't. Those were just made for money, and that's the unfortunate part, is that a lot of them are mediocre and they were just made for money. So that's one of the misses about one of the Arkham tie-ins that they have. And the final one is for Arkham Asylum. You can have a lot of complaints about Arkham Asylum. You can complain a lot about a lot of things like the combat or whatever and stuff like that in the story. I think the worst thing about Arkham Asylum was the final boss. The very, very final boss of Joker being just some big Titan monster that swings his arms around and then throw goons at you, and then, you know, you just have to like pull him down 3 times. It's like that's very disappointing for somebody who wanted to like beat the Joker's ass or something, or like have a very, you know, intriguing and investing final boss with this character that you've been chasing around this entire time. Oh, he's just a big monster that you pulled into the ground. Like that's definitely a downer for Arkham Asylum. That definitely brings it down. Like it kind of takes you out of it for a second. Like the epic conclusion where he punches him in the face with the explosive gel, that's badass, right? But besides that, the boss battle definitely could have been done a lot better. And I know it's the first Arkham game or whatever, but it just seems like out of all of the other like Titan bosses or all the other bosses in this game, that Joker boss battle is definitely like the weakest one, which is just, it's disappointing because he's supposed to be the main villain of the game, and unfortunately he just became like another big Titan monster that swings his arms at you. It's just, it kind of sucked. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. What do you guys think the biggest misses in the Arkham games are? I want to know everything that you guys think is like really wrong with these games. Go ahead and tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more videos in the future, and I will see you guys in my next one. Peace out.